Thank you. The Supreme Court weighed in on the issue of same-sex marriage today. The court sided along its typical conservative liberal lines with Justice Anthony Kennedy as the swing vote. CBS's Craig Boswell is outside the court with the details of the historic decision.
Same-sex marriage is now the law of the land. It was a little too much for Pam York-Smith, who sued to have her name added to her son's birth certificate.
Overwhelmed and overjoyed and really proud to be an American today.
The 5-4 decision fell along conservative liberal lines, with Justice Anthony Kennedy giving the swing vote. He wrote, "Marriage is a fundamental right in which homosexual couples must share, and it would also be a violation of equal protection to extend that right only to heterosexual couples."
That is wrong.
Two sentences I was just by.
Jim Obergefell is the lead plaintiff in the case. He sued to have his name added to his late spouse's death certificate.
If it weren't for knowing him and loving him, I would have never become part of something like this.
President Obama praised the decision of the court.
This ruling will strengthen all of our communities by offering to all loving same-sex couples the dignity of marriage across this great land.
The conservative justices on the court each wrote their own dissent, but all agreed states should be allowed to create their own laws.
There's nothing in the Constitution that requires states to recognize marriage in the way the court has radically redefined it as such.
Within hours, this couple got married in Dayton, Ohio, where it was illegal before today.
Now, Justice Clarence Thomas wrote in his dissent, its decision will have inestimable consequences for our Constitution and our society. I respectfully dissent. Back here at home, some people in one Perry County town are celebrating the Supreme Court decision. Vico Mayor Johnny Cummings says since his town passed a fairness ordinance, this is the correct next step. But as WYMT's Callie Rainey reports, some church leaders say this will change how they run things.
Ruled that same-sex couples have the right to marry in all 50 states, something some communities have been fighting for.
We're just so thrilled that they passed this, to even out everything out and have all civil rights to everyone. And of course, Vico was very proud to be part of the fairness.
I hate this.
The Supreme Court ruling now leaves some community members and groups with a new struggle.
It's going to be challenging times for the church ahead. We have no idea what the fallout of this decision is going to be down the road.
Local pastor says his church will follow the Bible scripture on marriage being between a man and a woman.
The church
praise you,
has to
Father.
stand firm on what the Bible actually does teach. There are those who say the Bible doesn't teach that or is misunderstood in that way.
I've
but
proved it.
In my opinion,
It's taught right.
Christian history, for thousands of years, that has always been understanding of what the Bible teaches.
Some churches will always disagree, and some churches understand. It's just depending on their religion and their values.
Pastor Cornett says his church will release their ministry
religion.
plan and policies in the fall. In Perry County, Callie Rainey, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, on to some other news.